Hi guys, we're back.
Yes, we are back.
So we did a video why I moved to the Philippines, why we moved to the Philippines, and now we want to do a video on how we prepared or how you might prepare, and we want to give you 5 choices you make as you prepare to come to the Philippines.
Yeah, because you need to acclimate
Yeah.
from America to the Philippines, so it's important to
So
prepare.
the 5 things we decided were important was, where are you going to go in the Philippines? So the first choice you have to make is where you're going to locate. For us, that was very easy.
Yes, it's very easy because I'm from the Philippines.
Yeah.
I still have my mother, my family in the Philippines, and I have invested in the Philippines.
Yeah. So it made it easy for us, the choice was made. But if you like city living, there's Manila and Cebu. Cebu is not as big as Manila, so it's not as congested, but it has its own pluses and minuses. You can go just outside the city for like a middle ground, or you can come all the way to the province and get your little shack somewhere if you want and hardly pay any rent and get lots of land. So there's lots of choices about where you want to end up at, but for us it was easier.
Yes, lots of choices. You either go to the north of the Philippines, which is mainly Manila, that will be a little bit pricey. If you go the south part of the Philippines, you will have cheaper, inexpensive choices. But we are in the center of the Philippines, which is the Cebu province, and we like it here because it is the second biggest city compared to Manila, and yet you will have amenities just like you will get when you are in Manila. So I think it's the best choice for us.
Yeah. And if you go further south, actually in Dumaguete, south of here, there's a big expat community. So, but there's not many expats in our area.
Yes, not much.
Yeah.
In fact, we only know one expat.
And right now he's in America.
Right now.
So the second thing you want to consider, you choose, is what are you going to take with you? It's important because you can actually ship everything you want. Car, except your house.
Yes, we have a whole house in America, so it was really, it takes for us a lot of thinking and planning what
For
we're
her.
going to take.
For her.
So yes, for me.
I didn't do much.
Yeah, that's true. He don't. He just
I packed it up. But
he just follow me what I want, and he gives suggestion, and we weigh it out. So what we did is we use the balikbayan boxes because first of all, we look at online how much is to ship a container. So shipping a container is more likely you have to pay the amount of a 1-bedroom apartment, a 2-bedroom apartment, and during that time when we were looking at it, it takes $2,000 to ship a 1-bedroom apartment. And our house is more than 1 bedroom. So I said, I thought about $2,000 is equivalent to like 100,000 pesos. I thought that if I have to ship our old crap and use those things here in the Philippines, it's a waste. It's a waste. So I was thinking of, okay, Mark, we can go shopping, we can get some small furnitures, some furnitures that is appropriate in a tropical place. Because our couches in America are really big, really huge, like, so it won't work here. So our final decision is to ship it using balikbayan boxes. At the time, the balikbayan boxes cost $60 a box. So we were able to ship a total of 12 boxes. So 60 times 12, you do the math. So that's how much we pay. So in other words, if it fits in the box, it goes with us.
I think that's
And
$720.
most of it, when most of our stuff went
To the
Mark's
kids.
children,
Yeah.
they don't, most of it they don't like, so it went to the dump.
Yeah.
It went to the dump.
We did donate some, but
Yeah,
anything
we
that
did.
wasn't any good went to the dump.
Yeah.
720 for us, but nowadays, guys, shipping is crazy. So I have no idea what a container would cost or what a balikbayan box would even cost
Yes.
then. But you really minimize what you bring. You bring some clothes, you bring some utensils, some dishes, and so a few items that you might have sentimental value.
Yes, and we have some pricey coats, trench coats, mink. So I brought them all. I just brought it because I was thinking maybe we're gonna visit America in the winter or we're gonna go Japan to travel, so we can make use of it. and some of Mark's suit. Yeah, I also brought.
I haven't worn a suit since we've been here. I'm so glad. Anyway, they came with us. Just in case, you never know.
And then another thing, appliances in America will be useless here because of
Well, that's a
the
good
differences in the voltage.
Yeah.
America has 110 volts. Philippines is 210 volts.
220, 240. Yeah.
220 to 40.
Yeah.
So, yeah. You will need a converter, which is a hassle, so no way. We're not bringing our washing machine, our refrigerator. No. We leave everything in the house.
We don't
that we
have a
said.
washing machine now.
Yeah.
She washes
No.
a few items. The rest go to the
Right.
laundromat.
Yes.
The next thing is when you're making the choice to get prepared to come here is to choose when. The best thing is if you haven't been to the Philippines, you need to come and spend some time first and understand how it is heat wise. But if you're going to come here, the coolest months are November and December, and then January, February, March. And March starts getting hot. Right now it's hot.
Very hot.
It's April, and there's some kind of extra heat index. They got the kids out of school because it's so extra hot.
Yes.
And so at least if you get here in November, December, you can kind of build up a little bit to the hottest months. July and August are cooler, but it's wet. It rains a lot in July and August, maybe starting even in June. So it's not a comfortable cooler, and it's still warm. It's just warm and muddy instead of warm and dusty.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
really warm.
So-
And then I
Go ahead.
think it also saves you some money if you book your ticket ahead of time. Yeah, just like what we did 6 months before our flight, we already booked our ticket.
We took a trip last year back to America. We booked a flight in January and took it in June. And our tickets were $1,000 round trip for both of us all together. Right? Was it
No,
1,000 each?
1,000 each.
1,000 each. Yeah, you can spend more than that, a lot more. The plane gets there, whether you're sitting in economy or business.
Yeah.
We can't afford that expensive stuff.
No, we
so.
don't. No.
Yeah. So and the other when is when you can't afford it. For us, that was easy. I got my Social Security in 19. We had to wrap up the house sale and wrap up the packing and get ready to come. So I was getting my Social Security when we came over here in December 2020, which made it very easy to afford to be here.
Yeah,
and
and,
that's
to,
it.
and to clean our house for the sale, we moved into an apartment.
Yeah.
For 1 year, we stayed in the apartment until it's time to go.
We were really anxious to get here.
Yes,
Unfortunately,
we
the house didn't sell as fast as we would like. It
Yes.
was during COVID.
It was during COVID.
Yeah, it was hard to do. The fourth thing, and one of the more important things, fourth and fifth are kind of equally important. You have to choose how you're going to deal with what's over here. This is a foreign country to Americans.
Not to me.
Yeah, not to Jess.
I'm an American, but I'm a full-blooded Filipino.
But it is foreign. I mean, the heat is incredible for what I'm used to in living in Maryland, right? So you have to kind of get used to that. The language is tough. I've been trying to learn, and I can say hello and goodbye and how are you, and that's about it. But if you start with that, they think you know the whole thing, and they go start rattling off and forget it. So my brain is too stiff to learn new stuff. I'm trying, but and it sounds different. I mean, these people sound like they're yelling at each other when they have a conversation.
That's how we talk.
But their palate is hard,
Yeah.
so the syllables are cut off.
Not abrupt.
They're very abrupt, and I think you have to get used to the lifestyle because you'll see a lot of poor and simple lifestyle. I mean, the people are having their baths outdoors.
Yes.
That's where the water is. So you have to walk by like this, you know.
And then all the laundry they're being hung in the sidewalk. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even the underwears, they're hung there like, okay, Mark, this is what
Well,
you
my
get.
underwear gets hung up on the rail. So. Look at them big things. Who's wearing them?
And also, there's a lot of sting.
Oh, huh.
Your neighbors will cook the dried fish,
Oh,
and you
yeah.
can smell everything. They will grill the fish, and you will smell
So how are you
everything.
going to deal with that? To choose before you get here, because when you get here, it's going to hit you in the face pretty hard. So have your mind made up that you're just going to let stuff roll. Otherwise, you're going to be battling your culture, and that, you can't get anywhere that way. You're just going to be snowed under overwhelmed with the oddness of everything. Another thing, if you're an animal lover, you're not going to like the way the Filipinos treat dogs. Now, they're changing. There's a lot of people that have their dogs with boots on and little diapers on them. They're walking them in the mall. But most of the dogs in the Philippines are either strays that look like they're starving to death with mange, or they're tied up in a very short rope and had to stay in this one spot all day long and bark all day long.
Especially in the streets, in the middle of the street.
yeah.
Yeah, they poop in the middle of the street. Yeah,
It's
they
like
lay
San
down.
Francisco everywhere for dogs.
They lay down in the middle of the street. Yeah.
So you can't be sensitive to things that you're not used to. You can't go on a crusade. You know, if you have dogs, we have dogs. Our dogs are much better off now than they were 3 years ago, just because we're living here. They eat better, they look better, they're not tied on short strings anymore, they get regular baths. I mean, they're in pretty good shape. One's skinny, the other guy's fat because the fat one's more aggressive, and he pushes the skinny one out of the way, but they're both doing really well. And then family. You have to understand how you're going to deal with family. This is a good one for you.
Yeah, so I still have a mother. My mom is 85 years old. I have a brother who is older, and I have a sister which is younger. And I have a lot of nieces and nephews. They're just nearby. So one thing that I learned, Mark learned, is that you have to learn to say no. If it doesn't benefit both parties, it only benefit one of your relative, or if not, then just say no. Because my family in general, they already know that when we say no, it's a no. Because before we came here, we met in America. So he did not bring me to America. We met in America, and I was working as a teacher in America in my single days. So I used to send money home. So so they know that when I said no, I don't have that, they know that there's nothing to give. So they were already kind of used to that, and they were already educated with that. But for those of you who wants to come in here and have a nice lady, you have to remember the family comes also. So what we can say is, learn to say no if it's a no.
Yeah. If you can help, you help what you can.
Yeah.
But otherwise, you say no.
We don't have.
And the fifth choice you're going to have to make is, what are you going to do when you get here? Now, for us, Jess has always had plans to travel. Now, we traveled before we got here. We traveled in America. We traveled on anniversary. We traveled a lot of different places
Yeah.
before we ever came to the Philippines. And when we came to the Philippines, it was COVID. So we traveled around the island.
Yeah, and it was cheap at the time. And there was, we traveled locally in all the beaches around the Cebu Island.
All the what?
Beaches.
Beaches. Oh, I thought you said something else. I thought
Yeah.
we're back to talking about dogs.
So it was cheap during the time because people are afraid to go out, you know. So there are even times that we are the only guests in the hotel.
That was nice. They had the whole staff to ourselves.
So it was nice. So yeah, that was our experience. We had fun with
Well,
it.
we did have something else to do before we got going here. The house was tore up. It had been finished in 2014, but when we came here in 2020, it was a mess.
It was a mess.
I may even throw some pictures in here of what it looked like when we got here.
Yes.
But we had to spend 2 months repairing all the damage.
Rehabilitating the house.
Yeah.
All of it, inside and outside and the yard.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Everything.
It was amazing.
It was a big renovation for us. So when the renovation was finished and I started posting pictures in the Facebook, my friends were like, "Did you build a new house?" I said, oh no, it's the same house. We renovated it.
Yeah.
So we spent a lot there, and then we buy furnitures, we buy appliances. It was a lot of spending, but we were prepared for it because we're ready.
Yeah. The other thing we didn't talk about here, we may mention, is the visa. It's very simple to get a visa. Just follow instructions at the embassy. You need a visa.
And in fact, we have a video about the visas that we use and we need to enter the Philippines.
But if you guys have other questions about how to prepare, once you've made up your mind, the rest kind of follows. We have done a lot of traveling, and now we're pretty active in the local church we're involved with.
Yeah.
And so that gives us a lot of opportunities to do things.
Right.
We still travel to local places.
Yes.
And like Jollibee's, you saw that one the other day.
And we were able to go home to America last
year,
year,
yeah.
to spend time with Mark's kids and Mark's grandchildren. So I think it was 3 months. Yeah, 3 months.
So five things that you can do, you can choose when you start to prepare. The reason I put them as choices because you have to choose, where you're gonna live. You have to choose what you're going to take with you. You have to choose when you're going to get here, when the time is right, when you have enough money. You're going to choose how you're going to deal with things. I think attitude makes a big difference when you arrive. We're going to show you a lunch. Hopefully, I can show you a lunch that Jess fixes for me at home. We had it today, and I wish I had recorded it because it was wonderful. We'll have it again tomorrow because that's the way she does it. She cooks food for a week, and then we eat the same. But it's delicious food. So, and I'm not starving, as you can tell. And the last thing is choose your what. What do you plan on doing? You have to have a plan of what to do, or you're going to sit around and look at each other like, but no, but no.
No, don't do that.
No. Lots you can do in the
Yeah,
Philippines.
lots you can do.
So take advantage of that. And if you have any questions, put them in the comments. We appreciate you guys watching and all that you do
And
for
then,
us.
if I may add something, so
No.
this house, we've been married since 2014, and since 2014, Mark has been coming with me here in the Philippines for in
3 trips at least.
Yeah, I think we came over here
We
in
don't have to count all of them.
2015. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's like 4 times that Mark has visited the Philippines for just vacation.
So I wasn't a
all the time.
stranger.
So he was not a stranger. He might be shocked for some other things that he has learned, but he already has all the shock when he was still visiting here. And he liked it here. I was really surprised. Like, he said, oh, I like it here. I was like,
She's
"What?"
here.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I like it here?
He said, he liked it here in the Philippines. I said, oh.
All right, this is getting pretty long, guys. I hope you make it to this part, but if you did, thank you very much. And again, any suggestions you have for us, throw them out there. This came from a suggestion from a viewer. There's a guy named Frank who's got his stuff all prepared to go to Manila, or close to it. His steps seemed really thought out to me, but he's 74, so he's been thinking about it a while. Thanks a lot, guys.
Please subscribe. And thank you and bye-bye.
See you next time.